have to have somewhere to store all your data. I mean, maybe you're making an app that, I don't know, lets your users share their favorite colors with each other. Alright? People don't really care what database you use, but you still have to deal with it. Okay, then maybe you build a REST API on top of it. See, I'm getting several Z's on here to indicate that building the REST API is a boring part of the whole thing. So, when you're doing that, you get some data, store some data. It's not fundamentally different for every application. You still have to build it. Then you're actually keeping the server up, maintaining it, dealing with things when it crashes, all this maintenance type of issue. The networking, you're writing some client code to deal with networking, you retry when the network isn't available. I hope that I'm boring you right now, because you don't want to be building this stuff. Caching on the device, why would you deal with that? What you want to be building is the fun stuff. The stuff that makes your app unique to your app. The fun stuff. Things that users actually see. The things that make your application special. All the other stuff is table stakes. You need to build the other stuff just so that you have a working app. But it's not exciting, and it's always the same. So, if you could imagine a better way of building mobile apps, you would ignore the stuff that isn't fun, and focus on the stuff that is fun. And that's the vision behind Parse. You should only have to do the fun stuff. All the other stuff, the servers, networking, caching, that should be something that you let Parse deal with. So let me get a little more specific. Something that is actually really annoying to develop, and something that's pretty relevant to Facebook today. Because, users, Facebook, it's related. So when you're building your application, a lot of stuff you do, most apps still have some notion of you log in. Maybe you have a username and password. You have to store that securely, and this is the same for whatever your application is. So we offer a way to do the stuff around users that you have to implement in a way that hopefully every app can deal with. So here we have, this is the code, it's not the UI code. You deal with the UI code yourself in most cases. But here this is code to log in with the user, have a username and password. You can stick your own data. Favorite color app. Here we go. Stick blue, and then we save the user, return control of the thread. You don't really worry about the threading. And this is all you can do. This is a user who's signed up with the admittedly terrible password of my pass. And hey, if my name's already taken, there'll be some error. That'll be in the ... sort of section. So this is the vision of Parse, to make everything as easy as this sort of thing. You don't need to do the server. We're taking care of the server. That all is just happening. And of course, one of the great reasons that we partner with Facebook is because many times you want Facebook to integrate just very easily into your existing user system. So here, even if you have some user that was already signed up with username and password, normally you would be storing some tokens and stuff in your own system, and that all is handled for you. It's just this line of code to link a Facebook account to an existing user account. And all the other boring parts of the system, like, they forgot their email, or they forgot their password, can you send a reset email? That's still taken care of by Parse's system. And of course, you can log in with a new user, with Facebook as well. Alright, so that's one cool component. Oh, and all these examples I've shown you just in Objective-C, but we have SDKs for, Android, Windows 8, REST API, JavaScript, so you can go with whatever platform floats your boat. So it's not just user objects, it's also data in general. Anything in our system, a user is just a special case of a data object. So here, maybe you're commenting on things. You can create a new object, put information on it, great pick. Even relational things like setting a user, you deal with it more like you would if you're used to Rails development. You just stick a user object on there. You don't have to think about this deserialization, foreign key, you never have to say the words foreign key again. That's something you care about. And then saving it is just, this command will handle all the threading for you. And another nice thing is that if you want to interact with this data in some way that doesn't require that you write code, we have this data browser which lets you interact with all your data in a spreadsheet-like interface. So you might think, I love the command line. Why would I ever want to use, graphical stuff? But it's kind of cool. There's a lot of times you want to use it. You can, filter your data in various ways to see stuff. Let's say you're an agency, and your customers always come back 6 months later saying, oh, we need to, remove this one post that insulted me. Well, now, no problem. Now they can do that themselves. It's not a request for you anymore. You can just use the data browser. So another thing that makes applications annoying to develop is dealing with push notifications. This is something, if you've ever interacted with the existing push notification services, strange protocols, it's much easier if you can just use a library like this one, where it's a few lines of code to do something. So, for example, instead of keeping track of every device that's received something, this shows off the concept and Parse of channels. If you're interested in anything Giants related, then you can subscribe to this channel like this, and then later on, if there's a message about Giants, you can send it out this way, and all of the complicated dispatching logic will be handled for you by Parse. So all this accounts for a whole lot of stuff and a whole lot of apps you want to build, but sometimes you really just need a bit of custom code that is running on a server in a trusted environment where you can do whatever. So we've built what we think is a really cool solution, where we take JavaScript. Why JavaScript? Well, knowing JavaScript is kind of like speaking English in Europe. Everyone knows a little bit, enough to get around. And that's all you need, just a little bit of JavaScript on the server. So our previous example, we have this favorite color app, all right? Let's say you launch your app, everything's going well, but you forgot to check that it's actually a color. Oh no, you have all these users who are saying their favorite color is Jello, okay? But you launched this app and that code is out there in the App Store. What are you going to do? All right, we're going to fix it on the server side. In Parse, you don't have to think about the concepts of request, networking. Instead, you just write like you would in the regular SDK. You say, all right, we check the subject, we check the favorite color, and my favorite color is blue. So if it's blue, then that's successful. And well, at this point, maybe you get lazy and you're like, I don't see, we don't need to support any other favorite colors. If their favorite color isn't blue, well, you just can't save your user object. All right. So it's this easy to do that. Technically this could be extended. So it's also really important to us that Parse is easy to get started with, and we have a little video that talks about this.
Hi, I'm Matt, the software engineer here at Parse. Parse is an amazingly simple way for you to create a web or a mobile app without having to write any kind of scripts. Let me show you how. To use Parse, you start by downloading one of the powerful SDKs for the platform of your choice. As soon as you have the SDK in your app, you can immediately start saving data, creating users, and even integrating with Facebook with only a few lines of code. All this data is automatically stored to your Parse database, and you can manage and analyze it directly from your browser. The Parse is more than just a data platform. It provides a whole suite of tools to make app development faster and easier. To send push notifications, Parse provides a complete set of APIs, as well as a beautiful web console that allows you to target, preview, and schedule push notifications. Once your app is up and running, you'll be able to see some in-depth analytics about how your pushes are being received, and how your app is behaving in general. And finally, for the most complicated applications, there's Cloud Code, a fully hosted JavaScript runtime that allows you to write code that is securely executed on Parse's servers. Armed with Parse's powerful data and push platform, in-depth analytics, and Cloud Code, writing apps for any device has never been easy. To help you get started, check out our structures or our any example apps.
Alright, so finally, one of the best things about Parse is that, for a tech startup, the name is really easy to remember. It's an English word. So the best way to get started is just go to parse.com, check it out, browse around. We have plenty of example apps, ways you can get started, quick start for things, tutorials. We try to make it a really fun, and animated experience. Thanks for listening. Christine, thanks.